Park. I'm Dan McMillan, and we're here today for a very special show. I want to call it a championship show. We're following up our state championship show from the fall of 2014 when Providence was the state champion in Illinois football. Here we are. 6 months later, 7 months later, I can't even count. But whatever, we're here in the spring, going into the summer, and we've got another state champion. The Providence Celtics are the state champions for 4A for baseball in Illinois. So we want to congratulate them. Guys, give yourselves a round of applause. State champion in Providence baseball. I know it's hard, but let's hear it. Providence. The Providence Celtics, state champions. We want to recognize everyone that's here today. We're going to get started by talking to the head coach. We've got the two of the finest baseball coaches in the state of Illinois for baseball, and I think it's borne out with the results. And I think all these guys behind me would all attest that these guys are the two finest coaches in the state of Illinois when it comes to baseball. Okay, no argument there, especially if you juniors want to start next year. So we want to make sure we're clear on that. We've got Coach Mark Smith. Mark, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
We want to talk a little bit about, first, while he's sitting here, because he's wondering what is he going to do, and he's just going to sit here the whole time and watch us. But we also have really the brains behind the operation, Mr. Garrick Pranchke. He also the assistant coach. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
It's great to be out here today because it's wonderful to see such a reward working hard. You guys probably Mark, do you train all year round?
These kids pretty much do their own thing. We're not allowed to start until March, and we don't start until March. The kids do their own, their lifting program starting in August and pretty much go all the way through into the end of February. They play fall ball on their own, and they work out at the Dome on their own, those who can get in there. And, so they do their thing, but they know what to do.
Yeah. And so they're playing on some travel teams where they're getting instruction, sometimes from other professionals. And so are you in contact with the coaches, or are you allowed to be in contact with the coaches on the other teams?
I've never really talked to other travel coaches. Like I said, a lot of them that do work out at the Dome. Coach Pranchke works out there, and he kind of sees what they're doing, what they're working on, and those guys who are giving them lessons and working with them, they'll talk with Garrick a little bit, so we kind of stay on the same page as to what they're doing.
So you can't. There's IHSA rules, because I know they have it in football too. You can't. You've only got so much time, and you can only start at a certain time. So when did the road to the championship for Providence begin for the 2015 state champions?
Well, we started our first practice, which was the first Monday in March, I believe, if I think back. And, you have basically 2.5 to 3 weeks to prepare a team. And then all of a sudden you start playing games, and, 35 games later, the playoffs started, and on we went.
This is it. So how did your regular season go?
It had its peaks and valleys. We had started off real well. Somewhere about the midpoint, we hit a little lull, kind of forgot how to hit a little bit. But they kept working at it. We kept their heads up and kept working at it. And by the end of the year, we were playing our best baseball of the year.
And that's the key, is to always be playing in any sport, be playing at peak at the end, because that's what everyone remembers. We've all been on teams where we had almost an undefeated season. We won the league, and then you go into the playoffs and you get knocked out early, and no one remembers you. So what's happening here is you had a good year. I think I saw where you were fourth in the Chicago Catholic League. Who are some of the other teams in that league?
Well, it's as good of a league as you're going to find. It is Illinois' best. We played Mount Carmel in the state championship this year. They won the league. St. Rita finished second. That's who we beat last year in the state championship. I believe Brother Rice was third, and we were fourth. St. Lawrence was fifth, and Loyola was sixth.
Yeah, so that's a murderer's row. It's great to play that competition, because that prepares you for the playoffs. And so when you're going into the playoffs, you've already seen the best there is to offer. And so what kind of teams do you try to play outside the league?
We try to schedule the best games and teams we can play. The idea is to prepare them for the postseason. So we try to find the best teams who are going to have the best pitching. So when we get to the playoffs, that they're battle tested. They're not surprised by anything. They're not caught off guard by anything. They understand what they have to do when they come to the park each and every day. So we try to find the best teams we can.
Now, how long have you been coaching here at Providence?
Just finished my 9th year.
So you've been here 9 years. It's a school that's near and dear to your heart. You are a graduate. What year did you graduate?
In 1988.
So in 1988, you graduated. How did your team do when you were a senior?
We were actually, my senior year, we finished 33-3, and I remember we were actually ranked second in the nation by USA Today. I remember back, we were at the senior dinner dance, and that all came out, and that's what we were all talking about and excited, and we got upset in the regional final.
Probably because you spent too much time at the senior dinner dance, but other than that, you would have been okay. So that's a lesson to you folks. Concentrate on baseball. Forget about the dances until you've won the championship. Did you let them go to the senior dinner dance this year before the championship?
Oh yeah. They got to have their fun.
Did you? Okay, well, it worked then. It's I guess that theory goes out the window, but it didn't work. But 33-3, and then you got upset. And who ended up winning that year? Do you remember?
That's a good question. I want to say back, maybe Barrington won it. They had a great program back then, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how the programs, year to year, great programs like Providence, just so many. I think it's a credit to you guys as coaches that you keep the programs at their A level. You know, there's St. Rita every year seems to does very well with Mike Zunica, and Mount Carmel, of course, because they've won. They won 2 years ago, and then you guys now. So you've won 2 years in a row.
Yes.
So you won 2 years in a row, and would you give most of the credit to your assistants?
Absolutely.
Okay, so since you've given all the credit to your assistants, and we know that Garrick here is really the brains behind the operation, let's talk a little bit about how did you, coming into the season, because you work out at the Bow Dome, and you see a lot of these guys working out during the winter. Yeah, how do you get them focused, and what approach do you guys take as you begin the season? Because as Coach said, you only have, once you start the season, when you come into practice, you only have a few weeks to get ready, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah, I primarily work with the hitters. So I got almost fired 2 times this year, and almost got fired last year by Coach Smitty. But the guys work hard. I mean, they come in, and for our point, what we try to do is get them ready to swing mode. And a lot of guys swing off the winter. Try to get the bat speed up because you're going to see some velo right off the bat in some of the games we play. Just take a lot of ground balls and guys working out. And pitchers just doing their bullpen work, and then try to put it all together. Coach Carlson, our pitching coach, did a great job this year with our pitchers, and Coach Vitus and Coach Cavs. Those guys are there every day too, and they put their time in and do a great job with the kids.
So you're the hitting coach?
Yeah.
So who has, if you had to name it, and they're here, who has the sweetest swing on the team?
It's tough. Madei's right there in Deal. We call him Sweet Swing and Deal because he came up big through the playoffs, and both those guys can hit. They're really good hitters to work with, and those two guys I think probably have the two of the smoothest swings on the team.
And so did they come in with that, or how do you take? Do you see where guys come in with bad habits? How do you break some guys, because they've been playing Little League since they were some of them since they were 5. How do you break bad habits or try to develop it?
The mechanics of the swing are pretty tough. We try to keep it real simple. If you tell a kid a lot of stuff to do, they'll be pressing too much. So if it's a minor thing, it's usually a timing thing with the hitters because most of the guys' swings are pretty good. Yeah. So we're just trying to get pitch selection. Hey, don't chase this, or look for this pitch in the account. And then when guys get their timing down, that we kind of put all together, and it's kind of hitting's contagious. When one guy starts hitting, everybody starts hitting.
That's it. So you went through what would you say was the biggest slump or the longest slump you went through this year? Overall as a team.
Middle of the year, we faced the same, what happened last year. We faced Rita, Carmel, and that same block, and we really struggled a little bit. We had some balls, we didn't get some that snuck through, and then guys start pressing a little bit, and then their strikeouts came up a little bit. And, for those guys, we just got to get back to basics. We have to bunt the ball a little bit, get guys moving. And when we play small ball and do our little stuff right, then everything kind of opens up for us a little bit.
Did you find yourself being more of a team of small ball? Is that more what you guys would do?
Well, we started off small ball, and then, guys started playing us in a little bit, so we had to get those guys on base, and I think the biggest thing for those guys were, just think middle of the field. We had some guys pulling off on the ball, and when guys start pressing a little bit, we get in a little bit of trouble. So, we just got to go back to basics, shorten it up a little bit, and, once we get guys on, we try to move them over. So we'll bunt, I think our base running was probably our biggest key this year. I thought we did a lot better than last year was run.
Who was your leading base stealer?
Was it Stulis? I think Jackson Stulis was our highest. Yeah, he ran the bases pretty well this year for us. I don't know how many he had, but
that's
20.
28 stolen bases.
Yep.
That's almost won a game when it comes down to it. So when it comes, that's a heck of a part. We're on a roll here. We're talking about the championship team, and we've got the hitting coach here. He went through a little bit of a slump. He saw it through, and now let me ask you. They talk about superstitions in baseball. If you're going through a slump, did you have any time this year where you said, "Okay, guys, put this garlic in your pocket," or do something? Was there anything? Can we talk about any kind of superstitions that you tried to instill that helped you overcome the slump?
We did like a little campfire thing. We took all the bats around in a circle. I had all the players walk around it. I actually got it from Harry Torgerson, who was the coach at Triton, and it was actually kind of funny. The guys are looking at me. I said, "It's going to work." I think it worked for that game, and then the next game we didn't hit. So it was good for It was good for one game.
Did you ever try the live chicken in the locker room?
No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that?
Nothing like that, yeah.
No, nothing bad happened with that. Okay, so what we've done is, what you guys did is an amazing part, and I know you guys, neither of you are on the football staff, but what you've done is something that I don't know that's ever been done, and we were talking about it before the show, and as far as we know, it's never been done, where in the same season, same school year, they've a state champion, especially in 4A and 8A, have won the football championship. Well, I don't think you're 8A, but you've won, but I think
They're 7A.
7A won the state championship in football, state championship in baseball. So it's the first time that I know that it's been done. Also, it's been 56 years since there's been back-to-back championships in baseball.
Yep, that is correct.
Did you know that going in? Did you probably tried not to talk about it and said, there hasn't been anyone repeat in 56 years. I don't want to put the onus on these guys, even though they look like they can handle it. They got big shoulders. How did you approach coming off being the defending champions?
Well, I'm sitting here smiling, laughing, because when we went into the season, our first meeting, and this tells you a little bit about my math skills, as I told the kids our motto is 47, because I messed up on the subtraction on the math, and it really should have been 56, but Coach Smith had 47, so basically our entire season was built on a lie.
Well, is it 47? I'm trying to think. No, it's not 42, because that was a Jackie Robinson number. So 47. You transposed. And you were teaching them math, because we all know, folks, when you transpose, and you'll learn this in your accounting classes, it's always divisible by 9. So that's how you test it out. So you came into it. I try not to put too much pressure on them. Did you ever feel the pressure of being the defending champion?
No, and I think part of it was that, it wasn't really expected last year. We started 4 sophomores last year. We thought we were a year away, even though we had some players, and they just kind of got on a roll. I mean, we had 14 regular season losses last year, but we go into the postseason every year. We tell the kids it's those 35 games are a dress rehearsal.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
When you get into the postseason, anybody can win. You just got to be the best team that day.
Yeah.
And these last two years in the postseason, we've played relaxed. They've been loose. They're having fun. And, they're not feeling any pressure. And they're just going out there playing the game that they love to play.
Yeah. So you've done a heck of a job. And do you give all the credit to Garrick over here?
He gets a little bit.
He gets a little credit. He gets a little credit for the hitting, keeping him loose. Now, who was your pitching coach?
Chris Carlson.
Okay, so Chris, how did he approach it as far as his staff coming into the year? I know he's not here to talk tonight, but how'd you guys round the pitching staff into shape?
A lot of guys stepped up. I mean, we lost 2 key players last year with Godfrey and Rosa leaving, and they were 2 Division I arms, and guys that stepped up. I mean, Jay Carlson has stepped up this year, Brent. Hunniford came in. Our 3 seniors really did a nice job for us coming up and throwing us some big ball games. And I mean, they kept the ball down. I mean, all the games were close in the sectionals when they stepped up and pitched. And they, overall, the pitching really did a really nice job this year. That was a surprise. I mean, no one was expecting the pitchers to come out like that and throw like they did this year.
Yeah, you had some real close games in the playoffs, and then it earned you. You stayed close. Your pitchers kept you close, and so it earned you. What they call it, the comeback kids. Is that? Yeah, they nicknamed you the comeback kids because in the last 4 games, you came back in the last inning to win by 1 run. Now, what, as you guys got started in that, was it something, how did you work through the pressure of those type of games?
Well, like I said, I think the kids get all the credit for that because they play so loose and relaxed and carefree. And, even in that state championship game, we went to the bottom of the 7th inning. Our kids have done that all year long. And I told them, no one does this better than you.
Yeah.
So go out and do what you know how to do. And next thing you know, we got 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And, we tie the game, and and then we go to the 8th inning, and we give up a run in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and I said, "Do I need to repeat the same speech I just gave you?"
Yeah.
And they all kind of smiled and laughed. And I said, "That tells you the attitude of the kids. They're relaxed."
Yeah.
And there was something in that. You just had that feeling that we're going to win. And just because of their demeanor and the way they carry themselves.
Yeah. So you kept it loose, and you find that to be very important in what you do. Is that your coaching style? So people are watching this out there. What do you? Where did you, in watching some of the great coaches, who did you try to emulate that you saw as you were coming up in some of their styles?
Well, I mean, my mentor was Wayne King at Joliet Junior College. He won his 1,000th game this year, and everything I do and know is because of him. But I don't want to say I follow him because he was more of a yeller. Coach Smith isn't as much of a yeller, but they might disagree. But I think the coaching staff as a whole, we relate well with the kids.
Yeah.
We have fun with the kids. We'll chew them when it needs to happen. But I think with our relationship that we have with the players, myself, the coaches, that there's not a lot of trust, but we have a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it.
What do you think Ozzie Guillen's coaching style?
It's not Coach Smith, I know that.
No.
No, we're a little different. He's ornery.
Yeah, he's ornery and he's a little more flamboyant. You're trying to, as we normally talk, you're trying to give as much as much credit to the team as you can, because what it does is it comes down to the players, and that's what it's all about. You get blessed sometimes, not sometimes. Sometimes you just get blessed with great players. Part of it, though, is when you keep having wonderful seasons, championship seasons year after year. It's the program too, and so you're doing a great job. You've got great assistants. You're steering the ship, and the one thing we can say is that every year you're going to be in the mix because of what you do. You're recruiting. Let's talk a little bit about what does it take each year to make sure that that your bench remains strong.
Well, that's just from hard work with kids. What they do in the off season, they continue to get better. We are blessed. We have some talented kids, but we have great kids. We have good kids. And that's you give me a team full of good kids that are going to work hard, and we can do some things with that.
Yeah.
I mean, talent, can only get you so far, but you got to have a work ethic about you, and our kids do that. And if you can't do the job, there's a guy waiting behind you, chomping at the bit, waiting for his opportunity. So it's a competition thing as well. And, competition is going to bring out the best or worst of a person. And, you want to keep your job, you got to continue to work hard.
Yeah. And you've got to have heart. Coach Fitzgerald down from Northwestern, graduated Sandberg, great coach at Northwestern. He's always said to me the first thing he looks for when he's recruiting players is heart. They've got to have. If they don't have the heart, he doesn't care how much talent they have. It's going to be tough to take them anywhere. And so, what do you look for first and foremost?
Well, attitude is a big thing. Attitude and character, because those are things that you can control. And a lot of people say that, and it, obviously it's true. And one of the first things we tell kids, how you act in school plays a big role into how whether or not you're going to be part of the baseball program. You know, if you can't handle the rules in the classroom, how are you going to handle the rules on the baseball field, which is a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
You know, but we really don't have those issues. Like I said, we're surrounded by great kids, great parents. We're in a great community. It's a great environment to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great out here and out in New Lenox. It's now. How long is a little bit of the history of Providence? When was Providence founded?
You're asking the wrong guy. You asked. I've only been here 2 years.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I should know that. Margie, we should. Providence probably been around has it been around for 100 years? 1918. So you talk about some history. That's we're going to be going on we're going to look forward to doing the 100th anniversary show right down the line. Last thing I want to talk about before we get talking to some of the players is, did we have anyone hit it over the fence this year? I want to hear from the hitting coach. Did we get some homers?
Yeah, we had a couple here and there.
Yeah. Any grand slams?
I don't. Dvorak hit one. I think Jackson Dvorak. I think hit one. Who else? Deal hit one. Yeah.
He had a grand slam. Did you get a trophy for that?
No, you got a handshake.
You got a handshake? Okay, well that's good. That's good. So you got a well-rounded team. You base stealing. You got them home. You had a few times. You had some power, and you had some great pitching. It all comes together. That's why no matter in any sport, the team and overall teamwork is going to win championships. And you guys are a testament to that. And so we want to really congratulate you on a phenomenal season. We're now going to get back and take a little break here and then talk to some of the players about what they've accomplished this year, what it means to them, and where they're headed. If any of them are headed to the University of Michigan, which we know is going to win the state title, the national championship in 2 years. But we got to give them time. Okay, that's it. That's it. I won't talk about Michigan anymore today. Coach, we want to thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. It was a pleasure to meet the state champion football team, and it's an even more of a pleasure to meet the baseball team. So we want to thank you, Coach Mark Smith from Providence. Thank you very much. And Mr. Garrick Pransky, the hitting coach, probably the finest hitting coach in the state of Illinois. He makes, mothers, send your sons to Providence, and they will come out better hitters. We can tell you that. We can tell you that. So we can hear you heard it here first. So we'll be right back here on 147 South. This is Dan McMillan. We want to thank you for watching Orland Park TV.
This is Orland Park Mayor Dan McLaughlin. The Village's Farmers Market opened early June and will be open every Friday through early October from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will be no market the Friday before the Taste of Orland Park. Come to the Orland Park Village Center and find fresh fruits, vegetables, bakery items, plants, flowers, household items, and more. Barbecue lunches are sold during the summer months. For more information, call the Recreation Department at 708-403-PARK.
Hello, Orland Park. I'm Dan McMillan, and we're back here on 147 South. We're here on our state championship show, the baseball state championship. Here we've got some of the team, probably the most important part of the team, that just finished their road to the state champion, baseball state champion, the Providence Celtics. Guys, great to have you here today. I can't tell you how much it means to the fact that we did a show, a football show. Your brother was on that state championship team. And now here you guys are, who, when you see those guys and you see them walking down the hall, you've won a state championship, they've won a state championship, you know in your heart that your state championship is more important than their state championship. So how do you deal with the fact? How do you deal with the fact that your state championship? How do you break the news to them that your state championship means so much more? You don't have to answer that question now, because probably not a good way to answer it, because it's very political. Both state championships are important, and as I said, I think you're the first school in the history of the state of Illinois to win state championship in football and in 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 baseball the same year. So it's a great job, guys. Well, who we have here is, like I said, the most important part of the team here. They probably hit the most home runs. They struck out the most guys, and they scored the most. So what we've got, though, is I know this guy right in the middle, Matt Deal, scored. Did you score or not get in the winning run?
I knocked
Second to the last game.
second to last game. I knocked in the winning round.
You knocked in the winning run. So without folks, this is Matt Deal. He is from Orland Park. His twin brother, was on the state championship team. So you guys have to compare notes as to what you're doing. Which state championship is more important? What does your mother think? Which team is more important?
Obviously, I'm more important. The baseball state championship.
Good answer. Okay, so baseball, you heard it here first from Matt Deal. Baseball championship is the greatest accomplishment in the history of the Providence Celtics. So Matt played his youth ball, here in Orland Park for the Orland Park Magic.
Yeah, for the Magic, I played with them for 8 years, I think.
Yeah. So that was a big part of growing up here in Orland Park. Then what attracted you to when did you first decide I'm going to Providence?
When my parents actually forced me to go to Providence, I didn't have a choice because my sister went there 3 years ahead of me. So I was forced to go to Providence, but I'm very glad my parents made me go there.
Sometimes your parents make the right decision. I remember my son one year didn't want to play in the Pioneers because some other kids in the year, he had been playing for 3-4 years, decided he's going to take a year off. I said, no way. So we did force him. Hey, I'm a parent. I forced him to play, but he loved it, and then that was 1 year they won the championship. So sometimes parents know what they're doing. You guys will know that as older you get, your parents become so much smarter. I haven't. My kids still haven't seen that yet, but they're going to see it someday. They'll see the light. But it's great that you went to Providence because you made something of yourself. Now, to my right, this young man made something of himself even before he got to Providence. He had the pleasure of being on our Super Bowl winning team back in it was probably 3 years ago. So about three years ago with the Orland Park Pioneers, we went undefeated. This guy was the anchor of the line. The anchor of the line. Without you, you're not in the state. This team's not in the state championship. Without him, we don't win the Super Bowl. So, Mr. Kyle Struck, thanks for coming out today. It's great. It's great to have you. I just want to say, how are your parents?
They're doing good right now.
Yeah.
No complaints going. Okay. But
they never, back in football, they never complained about me, did they?
No, just at the banquets.
Did I talk a little too much?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody always wants to get out of the banquets. I do tend to talk, but I like to embellish on each child. And you got the Joe Pisciola Sportsman of the Year, Player of the Year award that year. So really congratulate you on that. That is probably at the top. Is that award sitting at the top of your credenza?
After the state championship, yes, that is now.
Yes, now that you won the state championship, that goes above it. But the Super Bowl and the year you had back then was first and foremost. Now you got done playing Pioneers, and you had to decide on going to a school. What drew you to Providence?
Well, I shadowed the one time at Providence my 7th grade year, and I fell in love with it, and then there's no turning back after that.
No, it's a great school. You could be a commercial. You shadowed in 7th. You fell in love with the school, and the rest is history. You came out here. I mean, would have been nice. It was great to see you thrive out here. And like I've said before, and I told these guys, you only have one flaw, and that's the fact that you're such a big Notre Dame fan. But other than that, everything is great. It comes from the finest family, and he's a great kid. And we're looking forward to big things from you next year on the Providence team. What position are you playing?
I play catcher over here.
Okay. Does anything get by you?
Down in the bullpens, nothing gets by me now.
Okay, so you made sure these guys were warmed up. So next year you're going to be you think you're going to be working that rotation?
I hope so. I think I will be a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll put a good word in with the coach, even though he's not paying any attention now, and he's texting somebody at this moment. He's not even paying attention to you guys, but that's what I heard sometimes in practice. But that's why you needed that hitting coach. Anyway. You guys had a tremendous year, from Orland Park out to Providence. You're still all living in Orland. The three of you are still living in Orland Park. We got Kyle Struck, Matt Deal, and we've got Matt Trzynski. Am I saying it right? Trzynski. So, Matt, let me come on over. We'll talk to you because you are an Orland Park hero. Your name's all over the paper here in Orland Park as a state champion. We talked a little bit beforehand. You went to Noonan?
Yeah.
And then, which of course, you can't say Noonan without saying Noonan. And we all love Caddyshack, and we can, after we're done, we'll recite lines from Caddyshack. We won't do it here on camera right now because it might get us into trouble if the judge is coming by. But, so you went from there, and what made you decide to go to Providence?
Well, all my friends were going there, and then I shadowed, so I just decided it would be a good idea to go to Providence.
Great school, and did the sports, were sports part of the attraction?
Well, I like playing sports, but I was going to play sports wherever I went. Yeah, Providence sports are good.
Yeah. So you were ready, and then you came in. Where did you play baseball in your youth?
I started off with the Orland Park Magic, and then played there 10 to 13, and then I started playing for the Rhinos out in Frankfurt, and then here I am today.
And you played alongside this gentleman for a while?
He was on the team a year older than me, but I saw him at a lot of the tournaments.
Because he's a senior, you guys are juniors, so you guys will be back next year to try to win that. Is there going to be you think you'll feel a little pressure next year to hit the trifecta?
Definitely. I don't think it's ever been done before, but we're going to try our hardest.
You're going to do it.
It's the first team, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be the first team in the history. You heard it here, folks. We're predicting. No pressure. Coach, no pressure. But you'll be the first team in the history, probably of the United States, to win a state title 3 years in a row. And there's no pressure, though. No pressure. But, your job's on the line, Coach. But other than that, there's no pressure. Don't worry. We got you. These guys got you. You got some great juniors coming back. They're gonna anchor this team next year. So, where do you see yourself? You're a junior. What kind of school are you looking at beyond Providence?
Probably an academic school. I like Purdue and U of I for engineering.
Very good. Engineering. So, folks, future engineer right here. It's good to see you try. You're going to strive beyond just high school and beyond just sports. So, what do you see yourself doing as an engineer? What is your goal to make an impact in your early in your career? You're going to make an impact. What do you think you can do by being an engineer?
Well, I like designing things. I like mechanical engineering, so I'm going to try to help build things to make life better for people.
You think you can design the tallest building in the world?
Yeah, it's probably.
Okay, so you heard it here first. Matt is going to work on going to school, graduating from Purdue with a degree in engineering, and then designing the tallest building in the world. So, and you can, when you're in the Tribune, front page Tribune, and we see that you're designing the tallest building in the world with you and Helmut Jan, we'll get together, and then we're going to say, I knew him when he was just a junior on a state championship at Providence, and then as a senior, winning the third title in a row. So there's no pressure. Win 3 titles, design the tallest building in the world. You got it. You've got a very bright future ahead of you. Now, this Matt next to you, I hear he's going to a fine school in Ohio. What school are you headed to?
Miami, Ohio.
Miami of Ohio. What is there's a lot of strong alumni that have coached there. Can you remember any of the coaches that have been there?
I know John Harbaugh coached, he went there. Randy Walker. And I know Ben Roethlisberger, he played there too.
Yeah. What team does Ben play on now?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers? Oh, okay. So, very good. So, we have a Steeler. You're going to be going to a school. Hopefully, he'll come back and give you guys a talk. When you're down at when you're over at Miami of Ohio, it'll be great. It'll be great to see you there. But Miami of no, that was Ohio University. It was part of the song, the Crosby, Stills and Nash song. But that's a whole other thing. Before you guys were not even. Oh, okay. That was a whole other era. So we've got you guys from Orland Park. We got the guys behind you. We're also part of the team. They're not from Orland, but there are everybody in the area. They're all part of the team. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk to some of the pitchers, catchers, outfielders. This is just a great collection of young men that have come together to win back-to-back state titles, and will be going soon. But they've just basically, I don't think the paint's dry on the trophy. But we're already talking about the third state title for the Providence Celtics. But which brings to mind, do they still have a national ranking? Coach, is there still a national ranking? Are you guys in the national rankings?
We finished number 10.
Oh, folks, we're not just looking at a state championship team in Illinois. We're looking at the number 10 ranked team in the United States of America. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk with some of these guys from the 10th ranked team in the United States. Thank you for 147 South and Orland Park TV.
This is Orland Park Mayor Dan McMillan. The village's Centennial Park Aquatic Center is open each year from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Pool memberships may be purchased at Recreation Administration, 14650 South Ravinia Avenue, and the Recreation Department's program guide has all the information you need for swim lessons, exercise classes, pool parties, pavilion rentals, daily admission rates, and more. Call 708-403-PARK for details.
Hello, Orland Park. We're back for our next segment with the state champion Providence Celtics, baseball state champions. They've done something that no one has done in 56 years, back-to-back state titles, and the school has done something that no other school in the history of the state of Illinois has done. They have won the football state championship and the baseball state championship in the same school year. So these guys have to be commended for it. The football team, of course, was the lead-in for it. If they didn't win it, then they don't get the chance to be a bookend. So we've got this team that is the other half of the bookend. They won the state title. What we've done now, we talked to the coaches, we talked to some of our Orland Park players. Some of the players are not here. We didn't have an opportunity to be here today, but we want to thank the whole team for such a wonderful year, but they didn't have an opportunity to be here today because they're out in Georgia on tour. They're doing a world tour for baseball. They're going to go from Georgia, and I think they're flying next to London. They're going to do something there, and then they go over to China. They're trying to break the barrier. So we don't just have a state championship team. We have an international team here, folks. So it's something that's very special, and we're happy to have them here today. In fact, one of the players isn't on tour because I guess he's looking for a new house today because his mother is now, which it's great that it's a wonderful story. She was the head basketball coach at Lewis University, and now she's Ben Carlson's mother. Did I have that right? Ben Carlson is his name? Jake, I want to get it right. Jake Carlson couldn't be here today because he's looking for a new house. I hope you find that house, Jake. You blew us off just to look for a house. But I know it's important to do what your mother says. So, and she is going to be she now is the new head basketball coach at Northern Illinois University. So we want to congratulate her on that. That's a great accomplishment. But the accomplishment that these young men have just been through and just accomplished here within the last 2 weeks, I think they won the state title on 2 weeks ago on a Saturday. Where did you guys play? Where was the state title game at? Where?
Silver Cross.
Silver Cross Field. You can speak up. Joliet. They're out Silver Cross Field out in Joliet. Pretty exciting playing in a big field like that. Yeah. Yeah, that had to be. Next stop is U.S. Cellular, not Wrigley Field, because are you a big Notre Dame fan? Are you a Cub fan too?
Yes, I am a Cubs fan.
Great kid. Now he's got 2 flaws. That's it. But other than that, wonderful kid. Wonderful. This is Kyle Struck, for those of you who didn't meet him or weren't here for the first part of the segment or just tuning in now. We want to go around. We've got the pitchers and the catchers here, which is really the backbone of any team. They are the ones that start the season first. You've all heard pitchers and catchers report first to camp. I don't know if that's quite how it happens in high school also, because you guys virtually play most of the year round. I'm sure you're all in the Bow Dome playing in January and getting ready and working out. And so the pitchers and catchers all of you are working all year round, even the players. But we've got the pitchers and catchers here, backbone of the team. We've got a catcher here, and everybody go around. Tell me if you're a pitcher or catcher. Are you a left-hander or right-hander? I don't know if we got any lefties here. Lefties were always the hardest to hit. And I know in my day, I don't know if I could ever hit a lefty. But I'm always, but I tried. And so let's go. Let everybody introduce yourself, and then let me know what position you played.
I'm Kyle Struck, and I'm a catcher.
You're a catcher, and you're what year?
I'm a junior, going to be a senior next year.
So you're going to be back. You'll be one of the backbones of this team. No. You'll make sure that staff is with you behind the plate, calling the pitches. That's it. Now, that's the question. What kind of control does the coach call the pitches, or does for most of them?
Coach Carlson.
He calls the pitches, so he'll go out. He'll put the signal out. Then the pitcher sends it to the catcher.
He sends it to us behind the plate, and then we give it to the pitcher.
Okay. What if the pitcher doesn't feel like throwing a curve?
Well, then he'll get yelled at by coach, and
would you yell like Ditka yelled at Harbaugh when he changed the play and then didn't work? So if he changed it, he didn't want to throw the curve and he threw the slider, and then they ended up hitting a home run. Would you be out there? You'd be yes, you'd be right there. Okay, so you're the cat. You guys are the catcher, backbone of the team. Young man, next up.
My name is Reed McCool. I'm a right-handed pitcher.
How fast? What is the fastest ball you've ever thrown?
Mid-80s, like 84, 85 miles an hour.
Okay. I know that I can't hit an 84-mile-an-hour fastball. So, but now, are you a senior or junior?
I'm going to be a senior.
You're going to be a senior, so you're going to be part of the backbone of the third state championship team.
Yes, hopefully.
You're going to do it. Now you're a junior. Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Plainfield, Illinois.
Plainfield. So that what drew you to Providence?
I had a family member who worked there, and I had heard a lot of good things about it. Heard it was a good athletic program, great academic program, and my parents kind of pushed me there. And in the long run, I'm very glad I went there.
Yes. And you probably are the coolest guy on the team. Is that correct?
Well, depends on who you ask.
Well, if your name's McCool, I think you need to live up to it. So let's work hard at that. We're looking for a 90. Coach, are we looking for a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from him next year? No pressure, though. No pressure. But don't be too cool. Just work on that. You work on that arm. But actually, it's not just how fast you throw. It's how Mark Burley didn't throw very fast, and he threw a perfect game. So I'm sure you can do it. Just work on. I've heard your slider it leaves a little something. You leave something out there with it. So work on that slider. I know you can do it. So I'm not to walk in front of you guys, but we have to make sure we get over to Matt here. Matt. Give us your full name, because I know I couldn't say it very well, but go ahead.
Matt Tresniewski. I'm a right-handed sidewinder.
Right-handed sidewinder. Okay, so that's got it. Now, what is your go-to pitch?
Probably my fastball, since I throw sidearm and get some movement.
Yeah. So you're throwing sidearm. You're coming at him. Sidearm. What's the fastest you've been recorded?
I don't really know, but probably I'm guessing like upper 70s.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so McCool over here is throwing 89-mile-an-hour fastball. You got some work to do. He's going to touch 90 next year, probably get into the 90s. Oh. So, but the problem with him, though, is he can't get the darn ball across the plate. So hopefully he gets his control next year so the coach can count on him. So, Coach, we're going to work on his control. But you're coming from the side. So your go-to pitch would be the fastball. If you were going to throw a changeup, let's say you're going to throw a changeup, how fast you think your changeup would be? How fast is it?
I don't have a changeup. I just throw 4-seam and 2-seam. They have like different movements.
Okay, so you're really looking for movement on the ball, not necessarily to fool them with the changeup. You're looking for movement on the ball. Okay. What is the farthest, not that I want to look for a low light, what's the farthest that somebody's ever hit the ball on you?
They usually don't get it out of the infield, so.
Good answer. Okay, so they don't get out of the infield. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Next year's team is in good hands on the mound, Coach. Okay, well, thank you, Matt. Now, next up, I think we have the lefty of the team. Yep. It's okay, young man, with your name and how fast is your fastball?
Colin Chibi and probably like upper 70s.
Upper 70s? Okay. This guy, McCool's got the 89-mile-an-hour fastball. You guys are we're going to have some work in the offseason in the Bow Dome, and we'll make sure that we get this thing up there for next year. But you're the left-hander.
Yes.
Okay, so left-handers are valued. You're probably the most valuable player on the team because we love, Coach, you love the lefties. You got to have a lefty on the team because he's your go-to guy. He'll be your go-to guy. Now, are you a junior?
Gonna be a senior. Yes.
You're going to be a senior, so you're another one that's you'll be on the third straight state champion team.
Yes.
Yeah, no pressure though. Okay, so you're going to be the go-to pitcher because as the lefty. You're going to work it up to where you're going to have a curve that drops off the plate, and and what the coach had told me before when we were talking before the show is that he really needs you in the off season to work on being able to paint the corners. You think you can do it?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to need you to really hit the corners this year. So if we're really going to be able to count on you as our go-to guy, our left-handed guy. Okay, so you guys are pitchers and catchers, and we got one catcher down there. We got 3 pitchers. We got a catcher on the other end and a pitcher. So let you guys come on out front because you're in back. You guys stay standing. I mean, you guys stay sitting. Come on out so we can introduce you to the crowd. Yep, come on out. Okay, so let's start with you, young man. Your name and your rank on the team.
I'm Connor Hilty and a right-handed pitcher.
So you're a right-handed pitcher. Are you a junior or senior?
Yeah, I'm going to be a senior.
Okay, another member of the third straight championship team coming up. So you're a right-handed pitcher. Fastest you've been recorded.
I don't know, probably like low 80s.
Okay, at least you're in the 80s. You're up there with McCool. So you guys will both be working towards 90 this year. So we'll be in the build. Well, that's by the end of the season. By the time the playoffs hit next year, you guys will lead the team through the playoffs with the 100-mile. It'll be the stuff of legends that they'll have two pitchers throwing 100 miles an hour on a team, and we'll have a lefty that's going to be painting the corners because he's going to learn how to paint those corners, and or else he won't be on the team anymore. But that's a whole other discussion he has to have with the coach. So you've been at Providence. You'll be a senior. What's your goal beyond Providence?
Well, I don't know. I'd go to college. I'd probably study something in like the medical field.
You're not gonna. Well, we got Matt back here. He's going to design the tallest building in the world. What are you going to do in the medical field?
I don't know. Probably I'd just help people out where they need to be.
Okay, well, it's noble, but we're going to have to get you focused. Coach, we're going to have to get see, that's probably why he's not throwing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. We have to get him focused. You can tell. Your career aspirations, very good, medical field, but let's get you focused. So study hard this year. Yeah. Do we have anybody that's candidate for a valedictorian in the room? Are you? Very good. I don't know. Okay, you're going to be pulling my leg. But Kyle, I'm disappointed that are you in the top 5 in class? When I wrote that letter of recommendation, I guaranteed that you'd be top 5 in the class. Now my whole reputation's gone. My letters won't mean anything in the future. Okay, young man in the middle, name, rank, and serial number.
Brent Villasenor, right-handed pitcher, serial number 5.
Serial number 5? That's it. Very nice. Did you pick 5 for any reason? Does the coach give you guys the opportunity to pick your numbers?
Yeah, 5's been my favorite number since I was little. Nomar Garcia Parra was my favorite player.
The Parra, Nomar Garcia Parra. Yes, he was very good. He was on about 22 different teams, but he was very good. And I know he was on the Dodgers. He was on the Red Sox. He was even on the Cubs for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, I only liked him when he was on Boston because a lot of people with the Boston accent, like,
Yes, they did.
like, oh yeah, it's Nomar.
Folks, you heard it here first. Boston accents. Did you think you were going to get that? Well, of course, we do have the Celtics here, so we have to have some Irish here. But you're what year are you right now?
I'm gonna go to college.
Okay, so you're a senior. So you don't have the chance to be on the third straight championship team. But you were on 2 straight championship teams. So you won 2 titles. What does winning 2 titles back-to-back, state champion here at Providence, what does it really mean to you?
It means the world. Coming to Providence, you didn't think you could ever win 2 straight championships, and to do it, it's just surreal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is, and I mean, I'm being serious. I know we're joking around. It's good because Coach did say you guys are loose, and that's part of, I think, what helps you guys not feeling the pressure too much. But it's a lot of fun. You've won 2 titles, but now reality has to set in. What the heck are you going to do after school?
After school,
After you're done at Providence, where are we headed?
I'm going to University of Chicago.
Ooh.
Going to study law and political science.
Whoa, very good. So, when Matt is designing the tallest building in the world, you can draw up the legal documents.
Yeah, maybe even defend them in court if something bad happens in it. So.
Let's not think that way. We're going to think positive, just the same way we're going to think that your junior teammates here are going to win a 3rd straight title next year. You'll draw up the legal documents for that successful, tallest building in the world. But it's very impressive that you're going to University of Chicago. That's a heck of a, let me congratulate you on that right there, because that's, they never, they don't even allow me to walk by the University of Chicago, let alone walk in it. So it's great to.
It was tough for me too.
Yeah, did you have to write an essay?
3 of them.
3 of them? What did you give us a little flavor of one of your essays?
One of the questions was, what makes odd numbers odd? The other one was, if you had to put your personality on a pH scale, would it be basic or acidic?
So what one were you?
I said I was acidic.
You were acidic?
Yeah.
It's good. Sometimes you have to go against the grain. You have to be acidic. You can't be basic. That's what helped drive the team.
Yeah.
That's what helped drive the team.
Goofy.
Yes. So what's the fastest you ever threw a fastball?
87.
Ooh, 87. You're right up there with McCool.
Yeah.
So you probably taught him a few things.
Yeah, taught him everything he knew.
Taught him everything he knows. So next year, when they win the 3rd straight title, you'll be able to say, I helped mold that team.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so congratulations on the University of Chicago and a second straight national or state title, 10th in the nation. So our last player that we're going to talk to in this segment before we go, and we have the Matt and Mike show. I think it's Matt and Mike. Not Mike and Mike, but Matt and Mike. Almost as good. We won't be coming from Connecticut, though. We're here coming from beautiful Orland Park. So, young man, we talked first to a catcher. We then talked to a lot of pitchers, some of them who think they're going to hit 90 miles an hour next year. You're the one who has to be behind the plate, keeping, because sometimes pitchers, their heads start to swell up, their egos are a little larger than they should be, bigger than life. You bring them back down to earth is the catcher. So let's give us your name, rank, and serial number, and give us an idea of what makes you such an effective catcher.
Michael Jarek. I graduated, and I'm number 15.
Number 15, what does that mean?
Nothing really. Last year I had a large jersey, and it was a little too big, so I wanted a medium, and I chose this number.
So the number is really just a function of the fact that you wanted a medium jersey. You didn't want a jersey that was too big, but you didn't want one that was too tight either. So it was medium. It worked out perfectly.
Basically, they don't have smalls, so that wasn't even an option. But yeah.
So you got the medium jersey. You're a senior.
Yeah.
You were a senior. You graduated. So and you're the one. You kept the pitchers in line.
From the bench. No, I wasn't number 1, but I did my work.
You did your work. You were there. You were there when you needed to be and when you were called upon, and that was the key. So now you've graduated.
Yeah, I'm going to Carroll University.
Is that Carroll or is it John Carroll?
No, it's Carroll.
Oh, there's a different one. I saw that I was studying beforehand. I knew you were going to Carroll.
Yeah.
And I thought it was, there's a John Carroll. Now, where's Carroll at?
Waukesha, Wisconsin. It's about like 15 minutes outside of Milwaukee.
Oh, very good. Now, what are you going to major in? How are you going to make an impact on the world?
Physical therapy.
Okay, so you're going to go physical therapy. So at some point, you will be the trainer for the Chicago White Sox, and Jerry Reinsdorf will hire you. You're going to be in such demand. You'll get $1 million contract, probably $1 million signing bonus to be the trainer for the White Sox, and your mother will be very proud of you. And the question I will have is, once you're the trainer for the White Sox, will you make sure you get all these guys tickets when they need them?
I guess so. I probably won't attend many games being a Cub fan, but...
See, I don't know why they have to do this. Why do they have to do this? But you're going to realize this. If you were offered to be the trainer for the White Sox, I'm sure you would take it. But so you're going to study physical therapy, going up to Carroll University. And what do you think Providence contributed? What do you remember, or what are you going to take away from Providence that's going to really take you to the next level when you're at Carroll?
I think they kind of instill a strong work ethic in all their students, and you just learn that anything like worth doing is worth doing well.
Very good. Did the coach tell you that?
I mean, Coach Smith knows a lot, so he took probably along the way.
Coach Smith knows a lot. You know, you're a senior. You don't have to say this. The juniors have to be nice, but you don't have to say this stuff as a senior. But no, in all seriousness, he's a great coach. The results are there. Yep. The results are there. So he's instilled some great work ethic and traits in all of you guys. It's wonderful to see. You've won 2 state titles in a row. Some of you are going to be back next year. We're going to win 3 state titles in a row. This McCool is going to be unhittable next year. And, I've heard he's got the best curveball in the league. He takes that curveball with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He's unhittable. He's unhittable. The only problem will be is we can't pitch him every day, but we got a great lefty that we'll be able to put on the field and in alternate days. So we're on the road to the playoffs, folks. So we want to thank all the pitchers and catchers for being out here, the Providence Celtics for being state champions. We'll be right back with the Matt and Mike show to wrap up our state championship baseball Providence show. Thank you for 147 South. Orland Park. We're back. Dan McMillan here with 147 South. And we've done some wonderful segments with the state champion Providence Celtics, state baseball champions. And we've already talked about the fact that this was their second title in a row. And this is it had not been done in 56 years. Their second title in a row. And then also, the only school that we are aware of that has ever won the football championship and the baseball championship in the same school year. And right now we've got 2 of the players that helped anchor the team. We've got a senior and a junior. We'll talk to the senior first a little bit. Matt Deal. Matt Deal, did I have it right, Matt? Yep. Okay, Matt, without you, And I know you want to be humble about it, but without you, the team does not get to the championship game. Because what did you do in the semifinal game?
On the semifinal game, the game was scoreless going in the fifth, and I knocked in the only run of the game that won us the game.
So at the time, it wasn't like a walk-off, which of course all the girls would come out and hug you and all that other stuff. But but they waited till after the game because it wasn't a walk-off. But it was fifth inning. Who would have known? But you knew it was going to be a tight game because you had who was pitching that game?
Brent Villasenor.
Ben Villasenor? Brent?
Yeah, I pitched a shutout, two-hitter.
Brent Villasenor pitched a shutout, two-hitter, and you knocked in the run. Okay, so you guys were the dynamic duo in that team. So without the two of you, without either one of you, you would not have been in the state final.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But it's a team effort. Remember, it's always a team, so don't let your head get too big. But you did. You knocked in the state. Then that got you guys being known as the comeback kids. You already were being known as the comeback kids before that, because you had been in. I think you correct me here. You were losing in each of the 4 games going into the state final, or over that, including the state final. After the 4th inning, and then you ended up coming back and winning each game. Of course, that's how you became state champion.
Yeah, and in the last 5 games, we won by one run, and 4 of those games were comeback wins.
Comeback wins. The comeback kids. So as part of the comeback kids, the top hitter on the team, he may have been the top hitter. I don't know. He's going to tell me if he was or not. But I was doing a little research before the show, and they had in the Orland Park Prairie the Team 22. So basically, it's the all-region team, and right up here at the top. And I think they've had them in the. They did a batting lineup of who they would have the leadoff, and they've got this young man as the leadoff. They would want him as their leadoff hitter on the all-star team. Mike Madej. Did I have it right, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, now, Mike, are you the top hitter in terms of average on the team?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I didn't look at the numbers after the season was over.
Okay, well, Coach Smith is nodding his head saying that you were, and we know it's a team sport, so I know you're humble, and yeah, so it's sweet, yes, that you're, because I'm seeing here it says you had a .417 average with 10 doubles, 29 RBIs, 45 runs, 5 triples, 2 home runs, but sometimes you still had trouble getting a date. So, is that true?
No, that's false.
False. Okay, no trouble for Mike getting a date. So we've cleared that up, and now we want to talk a little bit about your what led you to Providence and made you become. What not made you go to Providence, but what made you want to go to Providence?
My 8th grade year, I played New Lenox Mustangs for football, and we were in the championship game at Providence. And after the game, I talked to the football coach a little bit, and then I was really interested in the sports there. And then continuing talking about it, it was a great academic school for me, a good fit.
When you played in that game against at Providence in the state was it the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Who were you guys playing against?
Frankfurt Square.
Oh, okay.
Their TO, I don't know.
Did you win it?
No, we lost.
You lost. Well, you lost the Super Bowl, but from that you gained a treasure chest full of memories, because you, as a sophomore, played on the team last year that won the state title 2 years ago. What are some of your favorite memories, and how does that team compare to this year's team?
They're thinking back on it, they're completely different teams. This year we barely even had 10 home runs as a team. Last year 2 players had 14. I mean, I just remember 2 years ago, Phil Kunza and Dylan Rosa, they just hit a home run every game, and we'd be up by that. Now we had to work, get base hits, extra base hits, make sure we're hustling out balls, play great defense in the finals and everything.
So that's a testament to your coaches, is that they were able to take the talent that you had each year and maximize. You were more of a power hitting team last year, and then this year you were hitting for average, small ball, whatever you want to call it. You were getting on base. You were stealing bases. Who stole more bases, you or Matt?
I'm not sure. Matt's pretty fast. He's a lot faster than me, so
So if you guys did a 40-yard dash, who's going to win?
I might win by a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. Well, we're just it's a team though, so it doesn't. You guys both you were cheering for each other when you got on base. You were hoping you stole. Each of you stole. Now we talked about the fact that the first time that we know of in state history that a football that a state champion in football and baseball in the same school year. You were on the football team.
Yeah.
How does it compare? And I mean, I was joking earlier about you guys are a more special champion than that football team, but they're all great, and you can take something from each. How would you compare it? I would just talk to you about comparing your 2 years of two different teams in baseball. How does it compare state champion in football to state champion in baseball?
I mean, Coach Schmidt said it earlier. We weren't expected to win like baseball the last 2 years. Football, I think a lot of people had us going to win because we had Miles Boykin, Justin Hunniford, Nate Vavoda. We had all the tools and everything. So we had a pretty good chance for football. I didn't like being like that, how everybody thought we were going to win. I liked being the underdogs going into it.
Yeah, so it's sometimes it can work against you. It was great that it kept you loose this year in baseball, and you came up and you had a very good year. But then I don't know that they did. I'm not sure they expect you to win the state title, but you, as the comeback kids, you came back in each game. When you were down, let's just when you were down in that last game, the state championship game, you get all the way there, and sometimes people will say, "Oh, it's okay, it's just great to be there." And as you're leading into a Super Bowl or a state championship game. But I can say I've been, where we've done, just in coaching, been to the Super Bowl where we won and where we lost. And let me tell you, you still feel terrible after you lose one. You want to, no matter what, you get and you compete at that level and you want to win. You guys want to be winners. You compete. Coach Smith has instilled in you that win, and that it makes you more proud. Not win at all costs, but winning is what we're all here for. I always used to tell the kids, even going back to third grade when we were coaching, as we came up, I said, guys, you know what? Somebody's got to win. Might as well be us. So that's, there's no reason that you can't be the one that wins. So you're in the state championship game. You're down 4-1. 6th inning, 7th inning. You lay it out here. Give us that last inning and how you guys were able to tie it and then go on to win.
So we were down 4-1, and we just kind of scored a run each inning to tie the game. And in the 7th inning, they walked the winning run in, or the tying run in, to force it into extras, and they scored a run in the top of the 8th, made it 5-4, and we started off strong in the bottom of the 8th, and Mike Bidet ended up hitting the game-winning hit.
Mike Bidet got the game-winning hit?
Yes, he did.
Whoa, that's big stuff. That's big stuff. So what was going through your mind? It just stepped up, and you guys had tied it. You went into extra innings. They scored in the top of the 8th, so it's 5-4. You're coming up to bat. What's going through your mind?
Well, it was 2nd and 3rd, no outs, so I'm thinking I don't really have to do anything. All I have to do is hit the ball in the outfield, and we're going to score, because I knew even if it was a pop-up that Tom Kelly, who was on 3rd, was going to tag up and get home. So I was just thinking, there's no outs. I'm going to do this. It's not a big deal. And I got a good pitch to hit.
Do you remember what the pitch was?
It was a curveball, a little bit high.
You had a curveball? Was it a hanging curve?
Yep.
So it hung out there. You took it to where?
Left center.
Okay. Do you attribute that hit to your hitting coach?
Oh, yeah, it was all Garrick. He taught me everything.
Okay, he taught you everything you know.
Yep.
Okay. So without him, there is no state championship.
100% true.
Okay, which my point is that without everybody, from the coaches to the players to the managers to the parents to everyone to the principal, who sometimes gets on your nerves, but they mean well and they're just trying to keep you in line. So when the principal calls you down to their office, remember, they're trying to keep you on the straight and narrow, so that some of you can come out of school and design the tallest building. You think he can design the tallest building in the world?
I don't know if I can. I'm sure Matt Trzaskowski can.
Yes, he can, and we've got an attorney, and we've got someone that's going to be an attorney that's going to be able to represent him in putting together the legal documents for that. So, who's the coolest guy in the team?
I'd say our manager, Brendan Newkirk.
Okay.
That's true. I agree with that.
Okay, well, I don't know him, but I do tend to think this McCool is fairly cool. And when I see his 95-mile-an-hour fastball next season, I think that you're going to like that because it's going to help take you to a third state title. So we want to thank Matt and Mike for being here. You guys have done a great job. You're going off to Miami of Ohio. You're going to have another year. You know, some kids, some people go through their whole life, don't win a title. You won 2 state championships in baseball, a state championship in football. So I'm sure that you appreciate it, and you know how blessed that you guys all are. But I mean, to win something like that. So you're going to come back, and you've got no pressure really. I mean, you've won titles. So, but you got now you're defending state title, and you're defending your state title in both football and baseball. So, as we close, tell me what it feels like to be defending those 2 state championships.
The off season, we just can't be satisfied. We have to go out there, be hungry when we work and everything. I mean, if we keep doing that, we shouldn't have a problem defending state title.
That's good. That's true. So never just forget about it. The records are out the window. New season. You're going off to Miami, Ohio. What are you studying? Do we talk about that?
I'm undecided in the business school.
Okay,
so I'm going to business.
Okay, so you're going to be in the business, so you'll be able to put together the business plan, and as we build the tallest building in the world. Okay, so you'll make a case because you're going to have to make a case for that because no bank's going to give this guy money just based on the fact that he's good looking and he won a state title. So let's get to work here. Let's make sure that we're focused. Coach Smith's still going to be there. Coach Smith's probably going to coach another 22 years, win another 11 state titles every other year, maybe 2, maybe another, maybe once in a while back to back. But he's going to win this year because you have to bring him home. You guys have to bring home your 3rd state title in a row. So Matt, Mike, we want to thank you for being here. We want to thank all of the Providence team and the whole Providence community. It's been great to showcase the Providence baseball team after having the wonderful opportunity to showcase the Providence football team last fall. So for Mayor Dan McMillan and all of the trustees of this wonderful town of Orland Park, we want to thank you for watching. And remember, state titles are meant to be earned, and go out there and support those kids that are earning the state titles, that are working towards and taking the road to the championship. I'm Dan McMillan for 147 South. Thank you.